You know, I still get chills thinking about that flight from New York to Miami on Horizon Air. It was supposed to be a relaxing trip for me and my dad, Miguel, celebrating his 70th with some first-class pampering. But man, did it turn into something else. Right as we boarded, this flight attendant, Karen Mills, zeroed in on me like I'd crashed the party. She blocked my path to seat 2A, snatched my boarding pass, and sneered. "Folks like you don't fit up here, honey. Move along before I get security involved." The whole cabin went dead quiet, passengers sipping their champagne, but sneaking glances, some even pulling out phones to record, and there I was, Elena Ruiz, in my sharp gray suit, feeling that familiar sting of being judged by my Latina roots, like I was some outsider in a space I'd literally built from the ground up. Dad's face turned red, his hands balling into fists. He's always been my protector, worked his whole life in construction, fighting for respect in a world that dismissed him too, and he started to bark back. "Hey, lady, you got no right." But I touched his arm, whispering, "Hold on, Papa, trust me on this." Karen just smirked, doubling down during meal service, slamming a burnt steak in front of me while serving Dad a perfect pasta, muttering loud enough for everyone. "We have standards here, you know. Not everyone's cut out for it." It burned inside. This wasn't just rudeness, it stemmed from her own baggage. I'd later learn, years of resenting upstarts who rose faster than her in the industry, seeing me as a threat to her little kingdom in the sky. I could feel the eyes on me, the whispers. A journalist named Sarah Brooks in the back jotting notes, a businessman, James Harlan, watching with this knowing glint, and even a young attendant, Alex, who recognized me from company memos but kept quiet when I shot him a look. The tension built like a storm cloud. Karen kept escalating, demanding my ticket again and again, her voice dripping sarcasm. "Oh, sure, the system's glitched, right? Happens to certain types." Dad was fuming, ready to explode, but I stayed calm, letting her rope herself in, because I knew the real power wasn't in yelling back, it was in the reveal. Finally, she called the captain, Mark Thompson, strutting like she'd won, announcing over the intercom, "We got a situation here, sir. Unauthorized passenger refusing to budge." Captain steps in, tall and steady, scans my pass, pauses, that split-second recognition hitting him, then booms. "No mistake here. This is Elena Ruiz, CEO and owner of Horizon Air." The cabin erupted in gasps. Dad's jaw dropped as pride washed over his shock. Karen staggered back, pale as a ghost, stammering, "I didn't know." Passengers who'd judged me flipped instantly, James Harlan jumping up to shake my hand. "Ms. Ruiz, what an honor. We met at that summit, remember?" But here's where it got real. Instead of firing her on the spot, I looked Karen dead in the eye and said, "Monday, 9 a.m., my office. We're talking this out." Dad was stunned. "Elena, after all that?" But I explained, firing her would have been easy, letting her carry that hate elsewhere. No, I wanted change, real accountability, because if it happened to me, imagine the everyday folks without a title. The video went viral. Stocks dipped, then soared as the world debated. Was I too soft or brilliantly merciful? We launched the Open Horizons program, bias training for all, with Karen sharing her story in sessions, raw, honest, admitting her jealousy rooted in her own stalled career, turning her from villain to teacher. Months later, at the Aviation Awards, I got the leadership honor, sealed a massive deal with Harlan's firm, expanding us globally. Dad teared up, whispering, "You didn't just win, Mija. You changed the game." Yet, part of me wonders, was mercy the right call, or did it let her off too easy in a world quick to forgive the powerful? What do you think? Have you faced something like this, where grace trumped revenge, or should justice hit harder? Drop a comment, share your story. Let's talk about it.